Hello there, a very warm welcome to you. Hope you've had a good week. My name is Nick, it's Friday, so let's do a bit of chit chat. It's been a bit of an eventful week for me, but we'll come to that in a moment. Well, it hasn't been too eventful in the grand scheme of things, but in my world, it's been a little bit eventful internet-wise. I hope you've enjoyed the videos going up. Do try to keep it a little bit varied, always try and keep it fun. As you know, it's not all about great gameplay and the perfect gameplay, it's all about enjoying ourselves and relaxing and chilling. Had an increased bit of activity where people were just telling me in fine detail what to do and private messages as well, but the channel is never like that. It's never going to be what computer's the best, Spectrum, Commodore 64. It's never going to turn into a heated debate unless you want that separate yourselves, of course. So I don't enter into that. The whole idea of the channel really, as most of us know, is just to enjoy what retro has to offer. There's going to be different versions and ones you prefer, but I'm never going to knock down one system over another, because me, it don't really make too much sense. So from a historical point of view, it's like me saying I like the Saxons more than the Romans, or the Normans were rubbish, but the Tudors had it going well. Not going to happen. I'm trying to see the good in all of it and have a bit of fun along the way, ease a bit in stress, and we move on, have a bit of nonsense chat. So hooray! There we go. Just had to get that off my chest first of all, but there'll be comments, no doubt, that will continue in the chat section. Okay, right. So what's been happening? Well, if you've been following the channel, been in the process of upgrading the internet. We've been talking about for absolute weeks, because we're doing the live stream with an upload speed of 0.6, and I thought the upload process through PlusNet would be really straightforward. Initially it seemed like it was going to be, and they sent us a new router and they said it would all be active by the 5th of August, because potentially I was going through from an upload speed of 0.6 to well, maximum 19 they advertised PlusNet. Got to the 5th of August, no speed change. If anything at all, it went down. Now, didn't know what was going on there. I tried to get in contact with PlusNet, but they cut me off on the phone twice after waiting such a long time. I sent them some tweets as well. Again, they've ignored those, or haven't answered them after, well, almost 36 hours, I presume. So I haven't gone into their chat yet, but that's something I might do. But from doing a little bit of searching myself, I'm told quite often it doesn't set it up immediately. It's from the next billing date, and the next billing date on the account is the 9th of August. So fingers crossed, hopefully it goes there. Now, because my confidence in PlusNet is now so low, it's got me thinking all sorts of things. When we went through the upgrade from the basic package to the fibre fibre broadband extra package, they said we didn't need an engineer. I don't know how they knew that, but they've done some sort of test or scan and said we didn't need one. And now I'm thinking, well, is that the case, or will I need it later on? But since that point, my internet went down, so I wasn't able to do the live stream, the Commodore 64 live stream on Wednesday, so apologies about that, but it will be picked up again from next week. And also we're going to have one last video on Thursday about the blundering series on the ZX Spectrum. That was going to, so those two didn't happen. So sorry about that, because I do like touching base, as I say, easing a bit of stress and having a bit of fun. So those ones didn't actually happen. So the customer service so far on PlusNet has been extremely poor. Whether they've been inundated or haven't got enough people working, or they've got people now working from home that can't be monitored properly what they're doing, I do not know, or they get a potentially tricky call and just hang up on people. I think that might be the case, but the service has been absolutely terrible. Now, because the internet has stabilised now back to my old speeds, even if the new internet isn't there, we're still going to live stream on Monday with the ZX Spectrum. We'll see how that goes. Normally we do an Atari 2600 on Monday as well. Not sure that will happen, but we'll see. But hopefully, fingers crossed, everything works out on the Sunday. Yeah, the billing date on the Sunday. Nothing's going to happen there. But anyway, hopefully things work out there, and the following Monday we've got the speeds. If not, we'll continue on, and I'll have to just keep persisting with them. Now, if PlusNet don't answer me at all, what I'm going to have to do, which is a bit of a shame, is phone up my bank and stop the order that way. And then put a block on it, so then it releases us from the contract that they're not, well, so far delivering. But hopefully it doesn't get to that stage. But I can't recommend them at the moment. Was an existing customer, so a bit of a shock. But it's been quite stressful, and I have to try and force myself to chill. These things do take time, and I'm one of these people that think of the worst case scenario each time. So come next week, it'll probably be all okay, and this will be ancient history. But it's just that I'm raring to go. I can see what the channel can do. And I'm being held back. They're offering what I think you deserve and what we can actually do. So stay with it. It will happen at some point. But yeah, PlusNet not great so far. But people have different experiences there. At least the route has arrived. At least we've got some internet. At least it's back up to, well, the poor speed it was before, but it did dip down to about 0.2 or 0.26, and I couldn't live stream on that. There'd be lag everywhere more than usual. So that's a bit of channel news. Okay, now a bit of well, I look at random stories in the week, as you might do as well, and I pick out stuff that I think was quite funny or might be what you think about it. But there was, well, in the news, there's been someone that's picked up stones from a beach. It was Stacey Solomon, TV presenter, sometimes on Loose Women, first raised to fame in X Factor quite a few years ago. On social media, she put up pictures of pebbles she collected from a beach for some kind of DIY project she was doing. And immediately, people that were following her said it was illegal to take stones from the beach, which she didn't know, and pebbles. And I sort of like vaguely was aware of that rule, that you can't take anything from the beach. Now, apparently, there's a law in the UK, the Coastal Protection Act of 1949, which says it's illegal to remove any material, including sand and pebbles, and you could get a fine of up to £1,000. Well, she said she's going to take the pebbles back. Well, they're not going to fine her £1,000 over 2 pebbles, are they, surely? But she's going to take them back, she says. She said it was a bit of a bummer. Well, I suppose it was. I bet she wished she never did it now. But I think people must be taking odd stones and shells all the time, but just don't put it on social media. But can you imagine if you were spotted walking away with a shell and you got fined £1,000? Now, this rule really come in to stop the potential where people before apparently were coming in with JCB diggers and collecting large quantities of sand from the beach and selling it on to builders. People are scumbags, aren't they, really? I mean, so that's rules there, and because they have to be so forceful with that rule, it catches all the small stuff, because it's just going to be completely black and white with nothing in between. So what do you think about that? Have you ever taken shells from a beach or maybe wildlife from a beach? Obviously I haven't sold it to builders and stuff, but or have you? Are you someone that did collect stuff from a beach and got heavily fined for something? I find it very hard, someone enforcing that on a private individual rather than a company been doing it for ages. But can you imagine if you're relaxing on the beach and some JCB digger come down, put a load of sand into a lorry, waiting, so loads of noise and dust, and then drove off? It'd be absolutely incredible, wouldn't it? But then the beach eventually have got no sand. But odd stones, 1 or 2. I suppose it's cumulative, isn't it, really? If like 10,000 people went down the beach and all picked up 2 stones and walked off, it would decimate it. So I can see what the rule was, and I can see how she was caught out. But yes, interesting. So I thought I'd share that one with you in case you have taken stones from a beach or got caught out there. But it's an odd world, and there's scumbags out there, and we have to make rules that count for them, and it ruins the fun for everyone else, doesn't it, really? There we go. Now, I think last week I mentioned a little bit about TikTok. Donald Trump, the US president, you never quite know what he's going to do, and his rules always seem to be something that it's got to benefit Trump, or he won't bring it in. But he's got a bit of a bee in his bonnet about TikTok. They're owned by a Chinese firm called ByteDance Limited. That sounds very Chinese. Perhaps they picked that name on purpose. But anyway, they own that platform, and something else called, I think, WeChat. And Trump cites that he's worried about the amount of information that company holds about US citizens, and unless they sell this part of the company to an American-based company, I think, or someone else, he's going to ban them in the US. Now, I've been told that Donald Trump owns shares in another company, Facebook or Twitter, so I don't know if that's why he's trying to benefit himself that way. But he might be working on news that I don't know, but it's very hard with Donald Trump because he makes up stuff as he goes along and it blends in with the real stuff, and you don't really know what's right and what's wrong. You see, I bet he's done this in business as well. He says something outlandish, then back something up, like the explosion in Beirut, which I won't get too much into, which was caused by nitrate being stored. He come out saying it was a terrorist act, and then tagged on the end that that's what he didn't know, that's what his army generals had told him, or the people in the military had told him, it's all the hells of attack, and then later on they had to come out saying they hadn't mentioned this. He's absolutely outrageous, but we know this already. He's not going to change. So TikTok there. I don't know who could buy TikTok. it's going to cost quite a bit of money. So you're looking at major, if it is US, you're looking at major US companies. So you're looking at who could do it, either Microsoft or Apple perhaps. Yeah, I mean, what you're going to see as well, I think it might have happened to a degree, companies like Instagram are going to try and fill that void if TikTok suddenly disappear, where you can do, if TikTok, if you don't know, it's sort of like a sharing platform where you can do short videos of about a minute and share them that way. So it's like large Snapchats, things like that. Anyway, I did open a TikTok account. I haven't used it for quite a while. I did a few videos initially, didn't quite understand it, but it's a way of, I don't know, for influencers to spread the word and build platforms there. But if it's banned in the US, yeah, that's going to be absolutely crazy, but people might all the way go over to Instagram straight away, and that's probably what Instagram are thinking, and that's why they're going to put it into place. But it's not going to affect the UK, I don't think, unless we follow suit, but I don't think we will. It's going to be amazing, isn't it, when Donald Trump loses the next election, which I'm sure he will do, what other policies brought in are going to get suddenly reversed. But it couldn't be different from the last spoke, Barack Obama, if he tried. Now, I've been watching the Formula One, as I do. My favourite team is McLaren, which you'll know already if you watch a few of these chats going forward. McLaren seems to be getting a bit better, especially with Lando and Norris getting in the points. McLaren are gradually building up. But there's only one team that can win this season, this short and unusual season, so it's not the most interesting in the world. It's Lewis Hamilton, or Mercedes, I should say. But Bottas is in that team as well. That car's miles ahead of anyone else. It's between Hamilton and Bottas. And after the result of the British Grand Prix last week, where Hamilton finished the race on 3 wheels because he got a puncher, Bottas also got a puncher but finished outside the points, which sees Lewis Hamilton now 30 points clear of the championship. He's the best driver in the best car. He's won the last 3 races. There's another race this weekend, also from Silverstone, billed as the 70th anniversary Grand Prix. He'll probably win that also. It's over, isn't it? He's going to equal Michael Jackson. I don't think he raced Michael Schumacher's record there, and then probably go beyond it. So it's a very, very dull season. I'm enjoying the races as they are. The only interest really is because Ferrari are completely out of the picture. The only interest really is if Red Bull pick up with Max Verstappen, he races up the front with Hamilton, because then that'd be very interesting. Then if they're in similar machines, but I don't think that's going to work at all. It's going to be, well, you have to be really into Formula 1 to like this season. I'm into Formula 1, so do like it, but I can understand how boring it actually looks. Same person winning all the time. It was a bit like that when Michael Schumacher was in, but now the interest is, can Lewis Hamilton win the championship? Because to be honest, now that Bottas is 30 points ahead, unless Hamilton's car breaks down and Bottas wins the next race, Hamilton will still be in the lead then by about 5 or so points. And then it's like game over. 25 points for a win. He's 30 points in the lead. He's the quickest driver in the quickest car. Yeah. Do you think there's any chance of anyone else winning the championship? The only interest there would have been if it was a shortened season and Hamilton got off to a bad start and we didn't know how many races were left and he was gradually catching up the people in the lead, or Red Bull was faster, but that's not happening. Yeah, so that's been interesting then. So internet is pending. Stacey Solomon, Pebbles on the Beach, should she have done that or not? But she's going to take them back. Who's going to check this? I don't know. And Donald Trump banning TikTok unless it's bought by an American company. And Lewis Hamilton, of course, is shoo-in to win that championship. So we're going to end with a few shout-outs, as we tend to do. And these are shout-outs that have been supporting me through the membership system on the channel, which helps me going. As do the super chats in the live streaming that we mentioned briefly. And without these, I just wouldn't be able to keep going at all. So thank you. It does feel like it's on a knife edge at the moment in the beginning. So thank you. And those memberships, they start from $1.99, which isn't a great deal in the month's income if you're employed. But if I get enough of those, that helps me immensely and gradually improve the service and indeed keep it going. So first tier is $1.99, second tier is $4.99, and anyone on that gets a shout out each week, where I can shout out any projects that you're doing if you want me to, but let me know each time. Because as I say, you ask me to shout out one week, I won't necessarily shout it out the next week, because I don't know if you still want me to. So yeah, all these people I'm going to shout out on the second tier, and there's one in particular who's been really, really helpful with Ko-Fi as well. So that's another way of supporting me there. So check out that button on the main channel. That's helped me on the upper tier as well, which is brilliant. So thank you. So let's come to everyone then. So Stephen Q, NE UK. Thank you, Stephen. You've helped me in a number of ways. Phil Hill, always active there in the comments, as is Stuart Clegg. Thank you for your support. Rosie Bossy, great guy, talk to you a lot on Twitter. Julie Monkton, again, you retweet a lot of my stuff and do a great blog and your book site. Chona Baggy, thank you. Grey Hulk 2, thank you very much, sir. Pum Pum Reader, hope you're doing well. Haven't spoken to you for a while, so hope things are still good. Jason Holmes, Tom, and Andrew Gibson as well. So all of you are super people, and there's Graham Bebke that's on the upper tier in Space Baby, so thank you for that as well. Now, as soon as the internet sped up, which will happen, it is a waiting game, it's going to make my life a whole lot easier. And I say thank you for the super chat, so where I put all the money aside for that to store it up to try and pay continuously for the, well, increased internet. So thank you very much. Hope you're having a good week. Now there's more videos going up on the weekend, so we're still okay there. A couple of ZX Spectrum games on the Saturday. On the Sunday, if I remember correctly, there's an Amiga and I think it's an Atari 2600. It's either a Mega Drive or a 2600. Members would know because in one of the perks there, it tells you the videos that are going up in the next week, and sometimes you've got a bit of a say about that as well if you want to put that in, and I'll add it to the list. So have a good weekend. I'm glad that this video has gone up and fingers crossed that the video is stabilised. Take great care of yourself. Will be a live stream on Monday regardless, even if the speed hasn't gone up there. Well, as long as it's holding at 0.6 at least. Until next time, take great care of yourself, and I'm very fond. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, E.
And Jenkin.